Today in Bible, students will continue their lesson. Yesterday they learned about the Garden of Gethsemane and Jesus was arrested. So we are still in Matthew chapter 27. We will do verses 57 to 75 and then we'll go to chapter 27 doing verses 1 to 5. So here we will see Jesus after he is arrested. He will be brought before the high priest and he will also be brought before Pilate. We will also see, unfortunately, how Peter will deny Jesus as well. And we will see the end of Judas. Today in writing, students can correct the 4 sentences that I have here on the video. For the 5th sentence, they can create their own sentence. Today for phonics, students can review charts 9, 10, and 11 on today. And then I have a little bit of board work that they can complete. This is just a reading practice that students can do. These are kind of harder words for them to read, so they can just take time and practice reading those words. Yesterday we learned how to apply an adverb to a sentence. So remember, adverbs describe how the verb was done. So yesterday one of our sentences was the beaver swam quickly. So swam was the verb and quickly was the adverb, which was describing how the beaver swam. So I have 4 sentences here that students can read. They have to identify the verb and then they put an adverb to go along with the verb. So for example, if I would have had I cooked, I would say I cooked quickly. Quickly would be my adverb for that sentence. So you can go ahead and pause the video and have students fill in an adverb for each sentence. Students can write their spelling words on today. They can also review them. Their test is on Friday. Language, students have been learning prepositions. Yesterday we introduced list 5 and list 6. So just review the definition of a preposition. You can review lists 1 through 4. So for list 5 and 6 on today, students can give you their own oral sentences. They don't have to write them down unless you do require them to, but they can just give you their own sentences. The idea of it is just to make sure that they can memorize which new prepositions are list 5 and list 6, and also to be able to make their own sentences that make sense with the preposition. This week in social studies, students are learning about Americans of creativity, meaning Americans who had a talent, they had athletic ability, and they also had artistic ability. Fanny Crosby wrote a lot of hymns. John Philip Sousa was a composer. Norman Rockwell was an artist. Jackie Robinson was the first African-American baseball player. Newt Rockne invented the forward pass. Jim Thorpe was an Olympic athlete, and he also has an award that's named after him called the Jim Thorpe Award. So students will be able to have to identify what they did and who did it as well. In science this week, students are learning about the air that's around us and also the atmosphere. They will need to know the details of the atmosphere and what its purpose is. They also learned about the different kinds of weather: heat, water, and wind. These 3 things always decide what type of weather we will have. So they will need to know all the details of each thing. So they could read their pages today, or they could just do a light review and do the review questions.